Well, well, sorry about that, gang. That's all very strange, and of course, because it makes a new URL for every time I have to restream. So it's not like on Twitch where you just have to wait for a second and I'll be back. It's pretty irritating. Well, I'm sorry about that. As I said, and maybe you saw, I actually don't know. Um, the game's build isn't the most stable at the moment. I will admit this is the day one release version, which is no excuse. Like, you should make stable software the day of release. Um, but software development is difficult, and sometimes you don't know how something's going to be until it actually ends up on thousands of people's PCs. So maybe I will admit I haven't been back onto GOG to find out if there's an updated version. If I use GOG Galaxy, I wouldn't have to worry about this, but I don't. Okay, anyway, as I was saying, I'm going to pick an economic challenge. I'll do a military one at some point. Um, but let's stick to the economic ones, the sort of traditional city building ones. Because it was a naval challenge. I don't know about the naval ones. Then again, the combat's completely different in this iteration than it used to be. So, well, we'll see. Um, Economic. This said the challenges of the sea or something, so that tells me we're going to be fishing. We'll see what the requirements are. Probably at least 2,000 population. I do like these little loading screens. Their art is quite cute. Right, here we go. 2,500 population. Okay, that's fine. Boats and ships. I know about boats and ships. Oh, look, the cute little crocodile. Um, so probably fishing. We are fishing. We are also farming. Oh, we're farming flat. Okay, we're not farming for food. We are farming for flax and barley. Looks like there's a break in the river channel there, so we might end up doing a water crossing here. Okay. Don't know why I put that there quite yet, but it's going there anyway. I guess so that I remember to do it. 2,500, so that's a couple of neighborhoods. That's okay, that's no problem. Let's think about that, shall we? So I'm gonna put my festival square here. Stay out of the way. I've got to build some monuments. 3 monuments, was it? Yeah, I think I've got to build 2 small mastabas and 1 medium mastaba, so that can go down at some point. We'll not worry about that yet. We don't have a city yet, so let's not trouble ourselves. This big stretch of land here looks like it's going to be fishing. I might build a water crossing there, because all that flat land there is going to turn out to be useful for trading docks and whatnot. So, what do we need? I need to build a shipwright. Is that under military? No. Production? Shipwright, okay. So let's pop a shipwright. I'm basically going to turn this whole coastline into my bread basket. Right, okay. So what's the most sensible way of doing this? I'm gonna go like that. Okay, so I'm gonna I'm gonna go like that instead. I've actually started me off with a fair bit of Debans on this particular run. What I need to be able to do. I've gotten into the habit of building like this, and I'm not quite sure I can justify that. But that's what we're doing. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this. I need to investigate alternative layouts for my cities because I'm not necessarily happy with this way of doing things. I used to have a way of doing things where instead of a box, it was like an open arc. Well, we'll see. Okay. So they're going like that. Let's get a road coming up. Well, let's do some fishing. I know I need employees. 4, 5, 6. I mean, that should do for now. That should do for now. Connect you like that. And if you missed the last stream, you'll know that unlike original Pharaoh, there's a setting in this where you don't actually have to have the little guys come out of the buildings and walk up to houses. As long as you have workers, they'll just go where they're needed. That sounds like it's a much easier setting than the original Pharaoh. It's honestly functionally identical. What gods do we have? Just the one. Yes. Okay, just the one. So we can celebrate Osiris in his proper sphere. I better build a palace if I'm going to conduct taxation, which I have to until I've got trade underway. I'll check on trade in a minute, gang. I just need to make sure I've got all the basics. I've got an architect's post and a firehouse. Better put those down for here as well. Put down a cop shop. Then we need a water supply, which can go in here. I'm going to need a bazaar to distribute my fish, which I'll eventually have. That's really annoying. Why is he coming out like that? That's fine. Did I build a physician? It doesn't look like I did. Where's my physician? Oh, there's dentists in this level. Okay. Put a physician down there. Ahoy, how are you? Hope you're doing well. You've missed the inevitable beginning of stream problems where both the game crashed and somehow took Streamlabs with it. Don't know really why. I don't worry about building a garden yet. Oh, I tell you what I always forget to do and never do correctly. Entertainment. Oh, do you know, I've already done that wrong. Go away. That cost money. I always get it wrong. This looks very inelegant, but it won't by the time I'm finished. He said. Goodness me. Let's build a bandstand. There, like that. There we go. Okay. There's nothing to entertain them at the bandstand yet, but that's okay. They also don't have any food yet. Let's get them accepting fish. That's the only thing we care about right away. Now we definitely want a granary. We'll pop in here. Can accept anything. Then we need to go to see the overseer of the workers, the last thing, and then we can actually get going to admin as well. Where's administration? Not sorted alphabetically, of course. 3 for religion and entertainment, 4 for production. Okay. Now we can let them in. Oh, we got jobs, bro. Now that they're filing in, let's have a look at the world map and see what we can... Wow. All the cities with flags are cities we can trade with. So what can we sell? Right, okay. We can sell linen. Well, we can farm flax for linen, so that's good. They buy beer. Okay, that's good. They're not buying anything. Timna is buying papyrus. Right. We're going to open a trade route right away for papyrus. So that's fantastic. What papyrus means to us, because I've got a little clutch of reeds. So, what papyrus means to us is we're going to build some reed gatherers. It actually does need to be connected to Kingdom Road, doesn't it? Where is the Kingdom Road from here? Oh, Lord, okay. Can I do that, or will I go too far off the map? I can't do that. I'll start from here, then. No mini-map. Very annoying. Don't need that. I need a mini-map, please. Okay, that's slightly irritating. But we'll undo it, and no future archaeologists will ever know that it happened. So we're going to build some reed gatherers, and we're going to start making papyrus, because papyrus we don't actually need much of, but we do like... So... because we can sell it for lots of cash. So you take half of the reeds and half of the papyrus. I need reed gatherers. Where are my reed gatherers? Should I put them here? Seems like space is a bit of a premium here. I might... stretch them out like that. There we go. Make sure we have firehouse. And then we need to build some papyrus makers. Still not quite used to the interface, and I still don't like it because it doesn't feature any cute little hieroglyphs. This is too many reed gatherers, actually. We're going to end up with a glut of reeds for this amount of papyrus, but that's okay. We'll see what we'll do about that. If we do end up with an excess, I can always... I'm going to hold on to 200 papyrus. I need to be farming, excuse me, I need to be farming barley for beer as early as possible. That's 6 barley farms. Is that going to be enough barley farms? I don't know. Surely that will be. Like that. We'll build some of the delightfully named work camps, although someone in the audience, I can't remember who, suggested that we call them temp agencies. Slightly nicer word, work camps. So we'll do that. We'll build some temp agencies. A couple of temp agencies. Temp agencies can burn down, so let's do that. Right, that's that. It's going to take a little bit for all that to fill in as the workers pile in. But the shipwright will begin making... The shipwright can make fishing boats without wood. I think they'd be woven from reeds, actually. Not the actual resource reeds in the game, but in the real world, they'd be woven from reeds. There's no workers in the shipwright yet, because it's technically a military building. It's technically a military building. Okay, so I guess that means we need to put military... Oh, no. Oh, they count as a shipwright, do they? I can put my shipwright up to the top priority within this section. Don't worry, we'll get more workers soon. They don't even have clean water yet. And once the first fishing boats go... Where are the fish, actually? I might have built these fishing docks. Are the fish going to be... Oh, yeah, looks like there's the fish. Okay, the fishing boats are going to be coming a little way out of the way, but that's fine. I think up here is going to be where I build my trade at some point. We'll see. Entertainment. Let's build blocks. Entertainment. We'll build a juggler school and a conservatory. I don't know if they can collapse. Cannot collapse, so it's just a firehouse. Okay. Right, sort that out. He's come to trade, but I don't think I've got anything to sell him yet. No, don't have a high enough population to run. So I didn't actually build any infrastructure for my beer. Probably would be a good idea, wouldn't it, if I'm going to start down here, then I've got plenty of room. Barley and beer, half of that, half of that. You're all set up for, it's fine. And then I need to get some breweries down. Lots of breweries, probably, because... We'll start with 6 breweries. They should start delivering it, yeah. We'd better hold a festival while we've still got some money. Otherwise Osiris might get a little annoyed. We'll have plenty of beer to run it with. Have you got any workers yet? Jiminy Cricket. I don't So according... Oh, not you. According to the Overseer... What's the problem? The problem is... I have no excess workers. Right, okay. I might need to import some food just to start my city off. Can I import any food? I can import something from somewhere. You sell chicks. You don't sell food at all. No, okay. Men Nefer is a land trade route that sells chickpeas. Let's do that. Now, I don't know. Here's something. In the original Pharaoh, they couldn't go to granaries. The traders could only go to storage yards. So I guess I'll leave it open and we'll find out together. I don't know. Well, at least we had a festival. I don't feel like enough houses to me. I don't think I've built my rows big enough. Right, okay. That tells me everything I need to know. Namely... They go to the storage yards, not the granaries. Okay. It's no problem. We'll get that sorted. The first workers that I get in that sector will go here. You know what? I reckon... I reckon I've got too many work camps. Does that help at all? No, that does not help at all. Why didn't that help, though? Because I had enough workers They don't have workers for religion and entertainment either. Okay. Well, we'll get some chickpeas in soon, and then everything will be kick-started. Who are you? Are you a chickpea man? Or are you a reeds man? Oh, you're a chickpea man. You saved our bacon, although it's not, obviously it's not bacon. I hope that's enough. I've got loads of houses, so I assume once the bazaar trader's buying fish, he also needs to be able to buy chickpeas. That's very silly. Right, she's going out to get chickpeas. Wow, that's not... You don't get a lot, do you? But should be enough to get things started. That's only enough for that many houses? Goodness, okay. Well... We're in a bit of a precarious situation. When our demons get down to 0, we'll get given a gift of some cash, but then we're on our own. Come on. Ah, yes, okay. The shipwright has its first workers. So they're building our first fishing boat. I'm going to keep importing chickpeas for a time, basically until I'm convinced that the fishing wharves are doing the job. What's your problem? Desirability of the area. Well, I can put down some gardens. There we go. I knew that would happen. Okay. Okay. The first fishing boat is complete. Now, why? Oh, they're not connected to the road. Now, see, these ferry landings have workers, but they don't have fixed boats. These have boats with cute little names like Chickpea and whatnot. Right, more food is purchased. Wow. These houses are absorbing it all. But they can only hold so much, so once the fishing operation is well and truly... Can I increase the amount of chickpeas I'm buying? Because... Only getting 800 at a time is not actually brilliant for me. Okay, the first fishing boat is returning with its haul. That's quite cute. It's there. You don't have to clear across anything. It's there. Okay, so the fishing operation is going. Slowly but surely is the answer to that. Gonna get more chickpeas. Will he actually sell us more than... No, he's not. They have a limit to how much they sell us. So when I say I'm buying 1,600, really all I'm doing is buying more in one go. That's still useful, but he's only going to sell us so much. Does it say how much? In actual fact, I am trading. Right, let me go to my overseer of the workers and see if I can kickstart some industry. Okay, papyrus makers and reed gatherers are now at priority number 2. So that I can start selling papyrus. And that should get the city back in the black. Okay, all my papyrus makers are going. Probably at diminished capacity. But let's look. I have to send beer for a festival to Osiris. All right, everyone. Okay, stop everything. I that's made the complete opposite decision that I should have made. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Overseer's work. I love that you can prioritize individual industries. But we are going to swap the brewery and the papyrus industry because we need to make beer now. How much beer do I need to make? I didn't look. 1,000. Okay, well that's fine. This will hold 1,600. And they are at full employment capacity. So we're not going to be making any money yet. But hopefully that will. If you look at the world map, see there are settlements like Nekhen and Selima Oasis that don't have little trade flags. In theory, if I get a high enough standing with the rest of the kingdom, I will get more cities I can trade with. You know, I might put the music on. I might risk it, you know. There you go. Just gentle music, just nice and pleasant. He's not trading. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Some beer is starting to pour in, as it were. If I could incorporate any ancient Egyptian clothing into my daily apparel, what would I pick? Well, the other thing about the ancient Egyptians was they weren't actually big on clothing. Um, they didn't. They didn't believe in layers. It's very different to how you would dress if you were a native inhabitant of a North African country now, where actually having layers and having layers of open cloth is a thing because you want to create circulation of air. The ancient Egyptians went the other way. They went, well, the less you're wearing, the better. I think nowadays we probably think different, right? We think, no, you really don't. You don't so much want the sun on your skin. But the ancient Egyptians' primary fabric was linen because they could farm flax by the ton. Linen, of course, is not opaque to UV light, so they'd still be subject to problems with the sun. They do have these rather nice kilts that they wear. I do have a kilt. It's not a linen kilt. It's a black, heavy cotton utility kilt. Yes, you can have my beer, but now I really do need to turn on my my reed gatherers and papyrus makers have actually started populating on their own. So I think I might leave that be. That seems to be working fine. You guess skin cancer was a real problem back then. It could well have been. But remember that the people of the Nile Valley would tend to have slightly more melanin in their skin than, for example, me, as I've called myself in the past, a literal sheet of A4 paper. So it wouldn't have been as much of a problem as it would be, for example, if I were to decide to wear nothing but a thin linen kilt. And in fact, the thing about the thinness of the linen is that the high... Did the music actually... Did I actually start the music? I was sure I did. I didn't... Oh, I didn't save the option. The higher up in society you went, the thinner the linen got. Because, of course, very thin but still durable linen is exceptionally difficult to make. Because it's difficult to make, it's obviously more prestigious. So by the time you got up to the rank of the upper nobility, the really rich folks, their linen would almost be gossamer thin. Um, it would sort of be ethereal, I think, is the idea. I quite like their headdresses. See, their headdresses are quite functional. They're quite easy to do. You can pretty much do them with any tube of fabric. Um, and they protect your head from the glare of the sun. That's quite good. SPF was strictly prohibited during the Amarna period. Yes, well, of course, it would be blasphemous to block the holy rays of the sun. Look, there's no the bazaar worker isn't quite getting here yet. See, I don't. This fishing operation is a little. It's not quite doing the job. Do I need to import more food from somewhere? What has Perawajit got? Figs for me. That's a water trade route. That's a dark path. Can I get any food? Game meat from Nooped. It's a water trade route as well. I mean, in reality, they would be. Um, buy fish. That would feel like such a defeat to have to buy fish. Um, no, I think I'm gonna just stick to my principles for the time being. At a certain point, okay. At a certain point, the bazaar worker's ability to distribute. Why are you? What's wrong with you? Oh, they want to give me bricks. Crap! I didn't even think of that. Um, right. Well, God, if they're giving me bricks, then I need to start thinking where I'm going to be putting my mastabas. So I've got to place a medium mastaba and two smaller ones. Okay. The previous mission, I had to connect the mastabas to the roads. I guess we'll do that. Right, bricks, is it? I know I need employees, but I was just told to accept bricks. So let's accept some bricks. Okay. Then I'm going to need to build an architect's post, aren't I? Seaworld wasn't a part of the Old Kingdom. I don't think so. I don't think they'd expanded out west. So Siwa. Oh, I'm going to get this really, really wrong. I think Siwa's like here. Oh, I'm going to get that wrong. Tell me off if I'm wrong. I think it's about here. It's definitely in the northwest of bit here. Modern Egypt goes like this. I think Siwa's up here. It's not actually. It's not even marked as an oasis here. It's definitely not this. That's too close. I think it's up here. Egypt from the Old Kingdom had pretty much always had the Sinai Peninsula. Um, See, so I'm not going to go on a soapbox about it, okay, gang. But just FYI, if someone tells you, that Egypt is an African kingdom, this is true, but it is also in Asia. It always has been. This is Asia. This is the border between Africa and Asia. Egypt has always had a varying degree of direct control and influence over this particular region. Um, Up here, um, it's pretty much always had this coastline, and it's often controlled quite a lot of this as well. In the New Kingdom, so it's always been on two continents. That's it. I'm not doing a thing about it. I'm not making a big deal out of it, of the fact that Egypt's on two continents, but it always has been. It's not just a modern thing. Yes, give me your bricks, please. Thank you. Don't put bricks in my granary. Oh, I get so interestingly. I guess I could, in theory, I could start building. 23 workers required. No. So you want me to make pottery? Can I dig clay or? No, I'd have to import clay if I want pottery. Am I selling any papyrus yet? I can actually sell beer, it occurs to me. I love the music. I've always loved the music in Pharaoh. And this is remixed. It's been remade. It was always good, but it was always on the not on low end MIDI. MIDI gets pretty low end, but it was always MIDI, and it was kind of obviously so. What am I doing? Beer. Let's export some beer. Stop stockpiling it, and export. I don't know. Let's keep 400 beer in the warehouses. Look, I've actually got enough here. I could probably build a second. Yeah, look at that. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's a lot of beer. Okay. Well, in honor of the fact that I've got a huge bunch of beer, I think I'm going to throw Osiris, who's not very happy with me right now. Why isn't Osiris very happy with me now? Probably because of all of the fact that I've ignored him. Oh, they hate that. Okay. I'll build some shrines. That's nice, isn't it? I'll even build a specialist architect whose entire job is these shrines. Beer more like pudding. Well, yeah, it absolutely is. Yeah, it's a fermented porridge. It's got more to do with things like Yakult um than what a lot of people think of as beer today, you know. People think of beer as a refreshing cool beverage, not as an actual meal. Um right, I guess I really do need to start thinking about doing pottery, don't I? If I built a pottery industry, if I built, all these rocks annoy me. I guess I'd build my second neighborhood here. So that tells me I could build a pottery industry up here. So one thing at no, I keep clicking on that. So one thing at a time. Clay. I can import clay already. I actually want to import quite a lot of clay. And the reason for that is because I need to make pottery out of it. But I also need to make bricks. So that's really irritating. So storage yard. The only thing you are going to accept is clay. That's your whole identity right now. If I do that, I can make this all part of the same road network. Then we'll build a potter. Where are the potters? Here we go. How much pottery do I need? Oh, realistically, am I selling pottery? No, I'm not. I'm going to build 2 for now. Make sure my bazaar can buy pottery. I'd like to make sure it can buy beer as well, but I don't want it going all that way. I'll tell you what I should do, actually. Empty your beer out. I've had an idea. I've had a dumb idea. I'm actually going to set this to be able to accept some of the beer that I make, so that it comes over here, so that my bazaar can actually get it. I think that's the best plan, actually. But I've got loads of barley, and loads of barley gets stuck on my fields, so I think it might be time to extend my brewing operation. I know I need employees, but that problem will soon be solved. Hello, Gaming with Tactful. A lot's up. She's come all this way. She come all this way to buy beer. That's very sad. She can buy it from here now. Oh no. Oh, I did that wrong. I did that wrong. Let me amend that situation. What are you doing? I need to build so many roadblocks to stop the storage yard from doing very strange things. Okay, so this storage yard is now going to be taking pottery and beer. I accidentally set it to the other one. But fortunately, emptying it should be pretty easy. This potter has no employees. Now I know that. I don't know why it should have no employees. Cupboard of Cheese. You started playing this recently. It's very nostalgic, and I did used to play this. I used to play this. I don't think it was quite when it first came out, although it might have been. This was the first video game I ever played a demo of. I think my copy of Age of Empires came with a demo of Pharaoh, and I played the demo and I loved it. And maybe a couple of years later, I spotted it for really cheap in a game shop, and I bought it and I've been playing it. So I've been playing it for a very long time. When is my next video coming out? Well, gaming with tactful. That is a very good question. I have a video coming out soon. Um, Soon. It was supposed to be coming out this week, but this week has proved to be a little more difficult. So it'll be coming out soon, possibly next week. I'm going to be working on it. I am working on it. I'll be working on it for the next few days. Hopefully, get it out. Maybe next weekend. I was hoping to premiere with alongside someone else. I don't think that's going to work out. Royal Scholar Armchair. I did. Yes, you're right. Hopefully, you'll send me more bricks. So my fishing operation still. It's why aren't my potters getting employees? I definitely didn't play it in 1998, I don't think. I think I must have played it in about 2000 because I think it came on as a demo on the expansion pack for Age of Empires, which I think was in 2000. Why aren't so my okay, so my potters just aren't. I might put my potters up to a 2 because they are actually necessary for. I've got loads of clay. I'm not running out of clay anytime soon. So hopefully that will be enough for that. Can I actually make bricks? I've been very presumptuous about the fact that I can make bricks. I can make bricks from clay and straw. I guess I'll need straw then. So let me go down to my bricks. Accept 3/4 of that. And I guess 1/4 of straw. Just to get things ticking along. Thank you, Bowman. I hope you have a great meeting. How did I get into Egyptology? You got into it because of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, well, absolutely. There are 1,000 routes and more into Egypt. How did I get into Egyptology? I have had an on and off relationship with Egyptology. It got me pretty young. When I was sort of 9, 10 years old, my school used to let me do weird little plays, and I was used to do plays that were basically a soap opera of ancient Egyptian gods and their lives, which is very stupid. And when we moved house, my room I had painted in the style of an ancient Egyptian tomb. Full credit to my mother. She gave me a frieze of hieroglyphs around the top, and I think it was Nephthys or Isis watching over me when I slept, which is fantastic. My mum's always been enthusiastic about Egypt as well, so I think I got away with it on that sort of basis. And I forgot about ancient Egypt for a long time. And then when I was in uni, they need a courthouse now, don't they? Then when I was in uni doing my postgrad, which was actually in Roman history, um, there was a course for Middle Egyptian hieroglyphs, and I thought, well, obviously I've got to take the opportunity given to me, and that got me firmly back into it. You had to do a presentation, and my video on Egypt really helped me with it. Oh, which video? That's fantastic. Um, I actually do get requests from teachers sometimes asking if I can use my videos, which I consider very very flattering indeed. And yes, when Patar fills my storage yards with jewelry, and I have no capacity for jewelry at all, it's really really helpful. Thanks, Patar. So this neighborhood's telling me my food situation is still really precarious. Now they want a scribal school. They can have a scribal school. There we go. Doesn't take much papyrus. It looks to me like I could really, really ramp up my papyrus production. It's making me loads of money. Look, I'm really profitable. So I think I think I like that. My barley farming is going fine. I think I need to make more. There it is. Okay, well, I definitely think I can justify making more breweries. I'm gonna future-proof myself by building like that. And let's build some more papyrus facilities, because I think I've got so much reeds coming in. I did say at the start I think I've built too many reed gatherers. To the marsh I march, for the reeds we need, as they say. How did Horemheb become Pharaoh? So I did cover how Horemheb became Pharaoh. I actually covered it slightly more in the video on I before that. No, Horemheb was not royalty at all. He possibly was nobility, but pretty lower nobility. He was a soldier who became a general, and he became one of Tutankhamun's highest ranking courtiers. He did lots of diplomatic work under Tutankhamun, and Tutankhamun essentially made him a royal bodyguard, I think is the best interpretation of one of his titles, which is fan bearer of the king's right hand. And Tutankhamun went, well, look, he's relatively young. I'm not very well, and I have not had much success in having kids. I'm going to make Horemheb my successor. And I thought, no, I want to be pharaoh, and so I essentially interrupted the succession. No, Horemheb was not royalty at all. He ruled for a fair amount of time, a pharaoh amount of time. See, annoyingly, I don't quite have half the population I wanted. No workers in my scribal school. Well, I can fix that. Doesn't get me many more workers, but it's not too bad. I hate that. I can't mouse over this tooltip. Okay, that should be fine. Um, so, you're asking a really interesting question. Shouldn't Horemhab have been a 19th dynasty king? And I shall tell you. They didn't decide the break in the dynasties at the time. The break in the dynasties was decided by a Ptolemaic era Egyptian priest called Manetho, who wrote this incredibly long tract called the Egyptologists, which he wrote in Greek for the Ptolemaic ruling class to understand the history of Egypt. And he's the one who essentially numbered the dynasties more or less as we understand them now. The reason that he kept Horemhab in the 18th dynasty and didn't start a new dynasty, I suspect, is simply because Horemhab didn't have any children. Or at least he didn't have any children that outlived him. So what happened with Horemhab is he actually he had two wives, I think, one of whom might have been Ai's daughter, but he had no children. No living children anyway by the time he died, and he had chosen his successor. Horemhab did lots of reforms. One of the reforms he did was he made sure that the priesthood were loyal to him and that they weren't sort of power grubbing, which was the problem with the Amun priesthood, and it's the reason that Akhenaten and all that stuff happened. And the person he chose for his successor had, at the time that he was chosen, not only children but also grandchildren. So this was Ramesses. This was Ramesses the first pharaoh of the 19th dynasty. And I think the reason he was chosen as the first pharaoh of the 19th dynasty was because a dynasty, although not in the... What happened here? Why did that collapse? I can't understand that. I'm going to go back in time. No, I'm not going to save scum. I'm just annoyed by that. I don't know how that collapsed. I really don't. Okay, well, is it because the architect actually doesn't go anywhere near there? Well, we'll move the architect. Don't quite know how that happens. So yeah, I mean, technically you're asking an interesting question. I mean, where does the dynasty start? The 18th dynasty started with a younger brother, not a transition from father to son. Right, so I need bricks. I don't know what happened there. So bricks there. 3/4 bricks. And 1/4 straw. Ugh. Very annoying. Should I get some brickworks up and running? Not yet, not yet. 112.80, so that's fine. I have some unemployment, that's okay. How would modern Egypt look like if they still had the pharaohs? I have no idea. I mean, they were never going to. The problem with Egypt was it was so well connected to everywhere that it being taken over by other more powerful cultures was pretty inevitable. Their foreign policy was that they didn't really establish huge sort of buffer regions to protect themselves. They had an enormous amount of soft power over their local regions, but they did comparatively little physical conquering. So I wouldn't think there would be pharaohs this late on. Armchair Egypt versus Zahi Hawass. Boo. Zahi Hawass is such an interesting figure. Because he's really influential, but he's such an egotist. I need to do a video on him at some point. I think he's such an interesting figure. It's obvious to me that I need more fishing wharves. I'm just not managing to... Okay. I guess I better build more of that too. Let's try and feed these lovely people. Do I have any advice for someone looking to start a degree in Egyptology? A cupboard of cheese. I wish I did, but I do not have a degree in Egyptology. Um, my advice for someone who wants to get a degree in Egyptology is to um look at places. I don't know what country you're in. Okay, in the UK we have something called the Open University. I think institutions like that exist in most places. The Open University is essentially the prototypical online. It wasn't online. It didn't start online, but it is now an online university in places like that. The advantage of universities like that is they have relatively low entry requirements, particularly for humanities subjects. But in a lot of cases, no, this is definitely true of the Open University, and it's true of a lot of similar institutions, is that their degrees are actually widely respected. So it's not like you're printing off a certificate at home. It's a real degree with all the flexibility that distance learning allows. You're looking at Liverpool. Liverpool has an absolutely fantastic Egyptology department. They produce lots of really really wonderful scholars. Um, I have no idea what its entry requirements are. One of the things I want to do, and will do at some point, but it would have to be funded by this channel's overwhelming success in the future, not too distant future, hopefully, would be to do masters in Egyptology. I think I could get away with a master's and not do an undergraduate degree because I already have I've got plenty of degrees. I don't think they need to see that I can do that work. As I said, I'd already done a master's in Roman history, so I think that should be enough to convince them. And I'd probably do it out of Liverpool, because as I say, they do really have an excellent department over there. So this is good. This looks like this has given me 1,280 residents, and I need little less than twice that. So I can model my next neighborhood after this one. I need more workers, but that doesn't shock me. I'm going to need a few more because I'm about to start building things like um, new trades and so on. Yes, give me bricks. I like bricks. I think generally speaking, what a university is looking for is a candidate that they believe is willing to put in the work and can do the work. I came to the city I live in currently to do a master's in philosophy, which I did in 2000 and which I completed in 2010. And I had someone on that course, and that was a master's course, who'd never done academic philosophy before. And he had a steep learning curve, but he ultimately did it. And through his personal statement, all his application stuff, he was able to convince the university that he was able to do it. Not to sound very, very cynical, but ultimately, what you are to them is a customer, and they want to be convinced that you're going to stick it out for the whole thing. I would say it's worth giving it a go. Absolutely. I don't know what your qualifications are, but um, I think as long as you can convince them that you're not going to drop out, or you're reasonably capable of sticking out a 1 or 2 year degree, I think you have every chance, and I wish you all the luck in it. What do I think the history of Egypt would be like if Egypt was artanism until the sea people came? Well, alternate history is not my bag, but what I would say is um, the reason that that's a difficult question to answer is that artanism comes. Well, I'm going to plan a new neighborhood. Artanism, in the way history actually went, does not sort of come on its own. With artanism, you have to get Akhenaten. And Akhenaten, what am I going to do here? Am I going to... And Akhenaten was not an overwhelmingly competent king. Um, and so what you have with Egypt under Akhenaten is, I might be being a little unkind when I say he wasn't a very competent king, but he wasn't an overwhelmingly competent king. We can say that. He actually might have been. Do Do I stop there? I don't think I do. What did I do here? I went to 32, did I? So we're going to go to... Okay. So the thing with Akhenaten is he wasn't necessarily very effective at some of the aspects of it. One of the aspects he wasn't very effective at, it is believed, was foreign policy. He bent quite a lot of the economy around building his new capital city at Akhetaten when there were already several. Egypt had several capital cities already, so and yes, they did come with baggage. Oh, we need a personal mansion. Let me build a personal mansion here. Priorities, tax collector. We'll put a dentist in somewhere. There. Dentist. We'll put in a scribal school here. Did I build a tax collector? Yes. We'll build a magistrate's office here. We need an architect and a firehouse. We need a bazaar. So in short, I don't know. But when Akhenaten stopped ruling, Egypt was still intact. So he can't have been that badly off. Its borders really weren't that changed. Would he have been able to mount a defense against whatever the sea peoples were? I don't know. Egypt... Countries don't just collapse out of nowhere. You know, there are periods in Egypt's history where its response to random invaders would have been to succeed. So I don't know. Akhenaten did not represent Egypt at its peak, but it didn't represent Egypt at its absolute nadir either. So make of that what you will. I have not ever been to Egypt. I'm not much of a traveler. I truly am an armchair Egyptologist. Both in the sense of not being a qualified Egyptologist, but also because I've never been to Egypt. I certainly would want to go to Egypt. There are lots of wonderful things to do in Egypt, and if you're an Egyptologist, an increasing number of things to do in Egypt. I've missed something here. Bazaar, magistrates court, school, I think that's everything I need for now. There are lots of wonderful things to do in Egypt, and there are an increasing number of them with their dedication to opening more and more expansive museums. The Grand Egyptian Museum's just opened. No, sorry, the National Museum of Egyptian Civilization has just opened. Oh, if I've ever gotten those two mixed up. I always get those two mixed up. One of these days I'll make a video about one of them, and I'll get most of the way through it, and I realise I've been talking about completely the wrong museum. I have been to the Louvre years and years and years ago, in between being interested in ancient Egypt. I had a long weekend in Paris and popped over to the Louvre. I need to go again with different framing. I've been to the British Museum a few times, but that's much easier for me to get to. Right, so these new workers are going to come in. So what we need to start doing is thinking about bricklayers guilds, and I think brickworks. Why isn't straw coming through? Oh, flax doesn't make straw. Sorry, barley doesn't make straw? Is that true? Oh, can I just import straw? I really don't want to. I don't want to mess around with straw. You sell straw. Water trade. Oh, we're finally doing water trade, are we? I guess we are. Okay. Okay. Water trade, so I need architect and firehouse. So I can actually dedicate. Just import some straw. Let's import to maintain 800. That's the amount of straw I can hold. So this trading dock is just going to be for straw to make sure I have a good income of straw. What else am I doing by sea? Well, no, not Mennefer. They're a land route. They're a water route. They sell me things. They're going to sell me clay and straw. I guess I could have a clay trade route. That wouldn't be so bad. What else did I open a water route with? Bedet. Why? They also sell me clay. What do they buy? They buy linen. I'm not interested. I haven't got a linen industry yet, to be honest. I haven't bothered with it. I might if I find myself with too much unemployment. Beer, pottery, chick tempests. Oh no. And fish. Am I able to recommend the best place to get books on Egyptology for someone relatively new? Well, I really should do a video with some of my favorite Egyptology books and the ones that I sort of go to again and again. If you have access to your university campus, then the best place to start looking is probably either the student union or maybe the particular department, because people are always trying to offload their textbooks from last year for much cheaper than you'd get them new. The overwhelming majority of the books that I own in ancient Egypt are on precisely two subjects. They're on the subject of the Amarna period, Akhenaten and all that, and they're on the subject of hieroglyphs in the ancient Egyptian language, because that's how I studied Egyptology. I did a year on Middle Egyptian hieroglyphs as part of my masters, or with my masters, I should say. So that was really my area. Um, but you've made me think I should do a video talking about some of my favorite Egyptology books and making some recommendations. That might be useful for some people. I actually don't know if the KV-55 mummy is on display anywhere. I have no idea. The dominant theory at the moment is that is the remains of Akhenaten, and quite a lot of Egyptologists and amateur Egyptologists and Egyptomaniacs like myself are all waiting for the confirmation of what's going on there. But I'm not sure where those remains are on display. I don't know. Be interesting. What's going on here? Why are you having a problem? Oh, it's because you've got a problem because you're not accepting anything. Well, I don't really need you, do I? So you're sacked. I got bricks, got that. Do I need to build workers? Did the Romans or Arabs partake in Egypt? Everyone partook in Egyptology. The first Egyptologists were ancient Egyptians, because by the time of the New Kingdom, the Old Kingdom was ancient history to them. So the first Egyptologists, it depends on who you ask. I have argued that Thutmose IV was one of the first Egyptologists. When he was a prince, he led lots of restoration efforts. Famously, he restored the Sphinx. And quite a lot of the 18th dynasty pharaohs spent an enormous amount of effort on restoring what to them were already ancient monuments. The Ptolemaic rulers studied Egyptology to an extent. I mean, I said that Manetho made this book for them. That was so that they could help understand ancient Egyptian history and their place in it. The Romans did, but the Romans inherited an attitude about ancient Egypt from the ancient Greeks. And the ancient Greeks saw ancient Egypt as kind of a very sort of mystical place. Their attitude to ancient Egypt was very strange. It was very, I don't know what the word is. Well, Orientalist is actually the exact word for it. They really did exoticize what they there's more like it. Look at my little fishing fleet go. And of course, when the Rashidun Caliphate moved into Egypt in the 7th century, they were, of course, already very curious about ancient Egypt, and there were plenty of efforts between then and, the time of the Rosetta Stone's rediscovery to try to reacquaint themselves with the hieroglyphs, because, of course, reading the hieroglyphs had declined massively under Roman rule. Greek became the dominant language and Christianity became the dominant religion. And because the hieroglyphs were so tied into the religious practice, they simply fell by the wayside. You have a suggestion about me making a video or series on the pharaohs? Have a lot of mystery surrounding. Oh yes, well there are certainly lots of mysterious pharaohs. I have had people ask me to do the 19th dynasty the way that I've done the 18th dynasty. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. I'm going to pay a lot more than the kingdom pays. I'm going to lower my tax rate too. Because the 18th dynasty has a very special place in my heart. So I might do occasional pharaohs biographies, and I'm obviously going to focus on the ones that have got a little bit more intrigue going on with them. Hi, Ken. Yeah, no, so look, I decided not to do Twitch because I sort of wanted everything in one place. That's it, really. I'm slightly more familiar with streaming on Twitch, but I thought for this I'd just do it here. There's a pretty good manga about Imhotep. I don't know how to process that information, if I'm being honest. Uh, there's a manga about Imhotep. What's it called? I'm obviously going to have to look that up. I'm obviously going to have to track that down because that sounds just very strange. My kingdom standing climbs. Yay! So the monuments are going up. Slowly but surely, the monuments are going up. I'm making a lot of my own bricks. I'm hoping... What? Oh, they burnt down? Oh, I thought they collapsed. Oh, they burnt down. Wow, that's good news. That means I wasn't going quite mad. Except that they're being very angry that my warehouses have suddenly collapsed out of nowhere. My goodness. Okay, well, we'll let that situation evolve as it goes. It's called Great Priest Imhotep. Okay, I'm going to look that up. I'm very intrigued by the concept of that. Ugh, this sickens me. He burned down the architect's post. That's quite funny. The architect's post back. Right, okay. Let's try that again. There was a brickworks and my storage yards. I've gone mad. I can't see bricks anywhere. Here we go. Accept all my bricks. You accept some bricks, but you also accept straw. Yikes. Okay, so I've almost got enough population. What's wrong? Too little entertainment. I actually know why I don't have a higher population than this. I should have twice the. Where's my overseer of granaries? We do produce far too little food. I don't know. Oh, I can take more people. Okay. Too little food. I know about that, but I don't know why that's the case. The fisheries just not want to play. I'm importing food. Is that... I always click on that for some reason. Can I import other kinds of food? I can import figs. Let's import some figs. I don't know if I get figs. From sea or by land, but we'll find out soon enough. Should I just build more fisheries? Is that insane? This is all the trading docks I need, really. I think I'm just going to build more fisheries. I don't see why not. That has to be enough. There'll be nothing left in the Nile. I don't really understand how they had people going to them, because there wasn't a path. But okay. Police! I didn't build a police. Have some delicious police. Oh, Egypt Old Kingdom. Yeah, that's relatively new, isn't it? I've played Egypt Old Kingdom. It's got kind of... It's kind of a... I don't know what I call it. Kind of a strategy-esque sort of game, isn't it? About moving cities around, moving workers around and so on. It's quite good. There was that one. They did a pre-dynastic one as well. There are loads of games coming out that I want to stream if they ever come into existence. One of them's called Builders of Egypt, which is pretty much exactly a Pharaoh clone. There's also a one called Akhenaten. I don't know what that's about. That could be about anything, couldn't it? You can't have any more police. You can have the exact amount of police that there are. I need to hold a festival because he's really angry. He really doesn't like that I haven't thrown him any festivals. Well, what if I give you some more temples? You like temples, don't you, Cyrus? There you go. Temples. Is the Nile still as abundant as it was back then? Oh no. Well, the Nile is not in Egypt. The Nile hasn't changed that much, but of course it doesn't. It doesn't flood anymore. The reservoir of Lake Nasser holds all the flood water and turns it through the miracle of technology into electricity. I talked about in my last video how there was a narrow window of time when photography was common, but also the Nile still flooded. So there are photographs of the Nile when it flooded. And you could see how wide it got. It got right up to the Giza Plateau. Of course, now the Nile's nowhere near there. Yeah, the pricing in this is slightly strange, to be honest. I love how these temples. First of all, okay, just make it absolutely clear this is not at all a historical game. Currency and so on. This very new kingdom they've kind of made a sort of a pylon type temple here. This almost looks neoclassical in some ways. But yeah, it's kind of strange. In some in some levels you've got to build a very specific kind of temple, and it's the whole level is about building this temple. But a normal temple, no, you just slap them down. I just slap 2 down casually and they're built instantly. You know, that old thing. So I am producing my own bricks. I actually might improve my straw imports. Try and keep a higher level of straw. It's really cheap, and I just want it. Can I build a road there? Can I not in a way where you'd want to, but I'm going to. No, not like that. Right, okay. That's what we would call technically an improvement. Okay, there we go. Slightly better infrastructure. Oh, the master is getting built one way or the other. I'm not having to buy any bricks either. Should I buy bricks to Great. Should I buy bricks just for the sake of... No, this annoys me. So I'm going on the world map here. There's no way for me to get from the world map to the trade screen. Yeah, there's no way. That's so annoying. That's just not good interface design. Also, where's my mini map? Okay, bricks. I think I will. I think I'll import to maintain 800 bricks. It's not many. God, they're quite expensive, aren't they? But I make quite a lot from selling papyrus. Am I still making papyrus? So I wouldn't necessarily need more than 1 dock, but in this version of the game, because you can set each dock. So, for example, I've got 1 dock here that does straw and 1 that does clay. It'll only receive the boat that's doing straw. It'll take them a very long time to get the straw over there. And if I only have 1 dock, then the queue to bring me clay will be even longer. So I've actually, yes, I technically could make do with only 1, but in the case of this city, because everything's so far from the docks, I benefit from having 2. I actually have built 4, and I'm not quite sure I can justify that. Really, I'm not using this one at all. This one's not doing anything for me, unless I want to use it to do straw. I might make this a general one. Speaking of which, I'm water trading with a bunch of cities, and I actually don't. Bedet, do you buy anything? You don't buy anything I'm selling, do you? No, okay. I'm not doing linen at the moment. I have a question about why I don't have quite enough. Okay. Well, I'm gonna say the thing. I need to build more work camps. Well, this is my favorite bit of music. More work camps. Work camps, go. I could expand my brickworking enterprise too. Technically. I have done the strategy where you use the warehouses to push things out, but that sort of creates a bit of a middleman. I do sometimes do it though. It depends on exactly what my needs are at the time. He's off, is he? Oh, good. I'm still profitable. That's a miracle. How's my unemployment situation? Okay, it's fine. Do people actually want to come to my city though? They do. Hey, okay, good. I don't know why I'm Still not quite managing it. But we'll worry about that later. Monuments are the main thing for now. I haven't had any call for doing anything military, so I don't know. Maybe for the sake of it, I might pop something down, but... What collapsed building? Oh, yeah, no, that makes sense. I know, if one thing is true of this game, do I have a fire? Oh, I've got a firehouse. I just have an architect's post. If one thing's true of this game that was true of the original, it's that, my goodness, you get a lot of notifications. You eventually just learn to tune them out. Let's get some papyrus and some reeds. Okay. That fills up pretty quickly. Well, is the demographic pyramid just skewed later in the game? Well, they do have that mechanic, yeah. You can change it, though. There's an option where you can go, instead of doing the age simulation, where you can go fixed worker ratio instead, and it just flattens it out, and they say, okay, 40% of the workforce is available for work. Oh, look, suddenly my granaries are full. Suddenly I'm making enough food for everyone, am I? It says I produce or import for enough for 1,066 people. Well, that can't be right, because no one's starving, are they? I'm not going to bother making a military thing. I don't think anything military is happening in this particular level. There's something about the style and the animation of the little dudes that doesn't quite work for me. I don't know exactly why. They're not quite as charming as they used to be. But charming is an entirely subjective thing. I found this really weird video. If you watch it, it's called Akhenaten First Queer. What does that mean? Are they saying he invented it? He invented so many things. A lot of people say he invented monotheism, which I've made a video about. You folks are very valuable. You're giving me so many interesting and strange things to look up. I appreciate that. Okay, let's speed things up a little bit. Going for an hour and a half on this same mission. I'm not sure if that's the way it's supposed to go. I keep forgetting you can speed things up to ×5. A perfect flood. Well, thanks, Osiris. I'm going to celebrate by having a festival. Did I build a dentist? That's a dentist, isn't it? Yeah. They don't seem to come to the festival like they used to and sort of wander around the festival square in a... Oh, look, I'll watch anything once. Don't you worry about me. I'm just intrigued by what they mean by that. Are they implying that... Are they implying that Akhenaten was the world's first crazy hot bisexual? In which case, fair enough, honestly. Good for him. Yes, I do worship him. He was... Look at these little guys. Crocodiles. They're desperate to eat my people, but I'm not sending my people anywhere. I know I should be doing linen as an industry, but honestly, I don't really need to. And population isn't going up. I don't know. To be honest with you, my Pharaoh games die because I have a history of playing some way into the Middle Kingdom and then getting bored. I'm going to see how far I get with this particular one. I don't know. Maybe because I'm streaming it, I might get a bit further, but I don't know. Oh, the curvature of his hips and thighs. Oh, right. Oh, I see. Well, the Amana art style was rather interesting, wasn't it? All these figs no one wants. It seems like I've got so much fish now, I can probably stop. Right? I'll probably stop importing figs and chickpeas. Look, like my guys are standing outside my fishing wharfs with nothing to do. Which pharaoh was the first queer person? Not really a video I'm planning. The odds are pretty good that no pharaoh was, although if any of them were, we all know it was Khufu, right? The vibes. Yes, have my beer. Have all my beer. I've got so much beer there lying outside my breweries, desperate to give it to me. In fact, actually, looks like I can build more breweries. Take my fish. That's a potter, not a brewer. Can't turn barley into pottery. Yeah, this is the thing about moving the speed to ×5 is that all the notifications are overwhelming. I like watching my little monuments get built. Although I've noticed one thing that's interesting. You don't have to, I have not yet been asked to do grave goods, which I used to have to do even for Masturbers. You had to do grave goods. Hi Louis, by the way. Lovely to see you. Thank you. I love bricks. Could build more. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. I could build more bricklayers guilds, technically. I'm not sure if that would materially speed things up, because the thing that slows you down is the number of bricks you've got. I've never gotten as far as the Cleopatra content. I'm going to be honest. My staying power... I say I've been playing Pharaoh for 20 years, and yeah, I have. But the thing about that is I've never actually completed it, because it just doesn't hold my attention. I really crave playing it, and I'll play it for a couple of weeks. But I get fixated on a city, and I like just running a city, and I get less and less interested in completing the missions and more in just running the cities. I must have a fair bit of cash. I don't have much. I'm tempted in a way to give myself more money than I deserve. They hate it when you do that, but then you can just bribe them into not caring. I bet I can, you know. Let me see if there's a setting for it. Because I do hate them. I do hate them. You can... There's an option for selecting your gardens? Am I just missing it? Playing this game in German would be a challenge to me. I can't see an option for it. I really hate the... Very annoying. There's an encyclopedia. that's actually, it doesn't pause it. There's an encyclopedia that actually is, it's not an encyclopedia of game concepts, it's an encyclopedia of actual ancient Egyptian concepts, and this was true in the original one as well. I quite like that. It's not an educational game, but if you go looking for the educational content, you can get some interesting stuff to look up. um Oh, you're German. Well, in which case, freut mich, but I don't speak much more German than that. I can tell someone it's nice to meet them and ask for my ticket to be refunded, but I speak strictly tourist German and not much of that either. Although, interestingly enough, German is one of the languages that uh, is useful for an Egyptologist, so that's one of the reasons I started trying to pick it up. Were the ancient Egyptians the first furries? Well, you know what, Red Wizard Knight, I haven't yet come up with what my April Fool's video will be this year. So I have to think about that, don't I? Because it's March now. So maybe that will be it. Maybe that will be it. Uh, uh, I think that option's hidden somewhere else, not in the options, but somewhere else. Oh no, really? It's not there. You might be right, you know. I'll try to look it up between streams because it would be very, very useful to me to not have to have this constant. I don't care about this. I want to know when I'm being smited, but not much else. Yeah, it's good. How are my ratings doing, actually? None of these pictures look like anything to me. I don't know what they mean. That they're not familiar. This is the ratings overseer. Oh, they used to be really cool pillars. Culture 25. Oh, not enough houses have access to a mortuary. Mortuary. I see. I see. Well, then I am going to finally have to start doing linen, aren't I? Okay, fine. You win. You win, Pharaoh. I'm not going to go mad with this. I'm going to do 6 flax farms. I'm not really interested in turning this into my city's defining industry. Look at the clumsiness of those roads. There's an alligator alleging my people. Probably because of all the carts full of fish, to be fair. Oh, man. Okay. Fine. So I need a pop work camp down, just so they're nearby, and a firehouse, and that'll be fine. And then I guess linen. You want me to, do I say mortuary in a strange way? I hope not. I just say it the way I'm supposed to. How am I supposed to say it? Mortuary. A mortuary. I say mortuary normally, but I can say mortuary. I don't know. Now you've got me thinking about it. I have no idea. Don't know what I'm doing anymore. Right. You can take flax and linen, please. And then I need people to actually manufacture the linen. And I guess I can build some mortuaries somewhere. Where are the Where are they? Apothecary, physician, dentist. They used to be under. Can I not build them? They've said not enough houses have access to a mortuary. Can I just not build them at all? What is this? You know, I don't think I can build a mortuary in this level. They've got me building this for no reason. So how can I raise my culture level? Should I... Uh, should I build a little dancer stage for no reason? I don't know if that will actually help. Nefertiti found dead. Yeah. Oh, you can get in quite a lot of trouble because an English Egyptologist called Joanne Fletcher did in fact claim she'd found Nefertiti, and Zahi Hawass was so angry with her for claiming it that she was banned from working in Egypt for a few years. I don't want Zahi Hawass to come to my house with a crossbow. Oh, okay. Building. So, okay, fine. I don't need this. Are you telling me I don't need this? Well, now I've been tricked into making linen. No, I don't. Well, keep making the linen. I don't care about the linen. You can do what you like with it. See, they don't have named boats. A Nubian army is approaching. That's outrageous. Oh God, are they coming up the river? Would it tell me? Well, this changes things. Let's build this intensely Greek-looking building. My God, okay. I guess, oh God, okay. I don't really know why this is a thing that's happening. Well, good thing I'm rich. No, I always click on the world map to do trading, and that's just wrong. Can I just buy weapons, actually? I can just buy weapons. Then I shall. I'm not interested in having an industry about it. No, just weapons. I always want to click on accept all after I've done that, and it doesn't mean anything. Where do I get weapons from? Not sure. Well, we'll find out. Do you sell weapons? Can you sell me weapons? No. They sell weapons, they sell it by land. Fine. Well, that makes everything a lot easier. They did get rid of the little columns in the rating screen, Ruth, and I find that so annoying because I thought they were so cute. They've gotten rid of a lot of the artistic touches I liked. So one of the first things I noticed was, where are the hieroglyphs? Oh, these used to all be hieroglyphs, and they look so cute. They look really, really, really cool. Zahi Was is trying hard to be the next Howard Carter. He claims he's found. Okay, so every time there's a major announcement that some new find has been made in Egypt, he will attach himself to it, even if he's done none of the work. It's infuriating to quite a lot of people that he does this. Seem to call the Pharaoh he doesn't want to build an army. He's happy just building their ones. Yeah, right. Are pharaohs as expensive as in weapons as expensive as in Pharaoh? Probably. But I'm only been buying so many of them. I've got a lot of excess cash, and I really don't know if I have the time to manufacture weapons. So the answer is I'm just going to. They're going to be here in a year. In fact, hold the phone. I need to go to my overseer of the workers and suddenly put military. here at number 3. Because I really need the recruiter and academy on the ball for this one. I don't really understand how the system works. I'm just building lots of guys, really, and we'll see what happens. It seems like they churn out a few a month. I think I've already raised my wages enough. I'm going to raise them again. I want people to come here. Yeah, Zahiwas is a... You know, he's a personality. He's also said some really, really anti-Semitic things. So I had a video I made ages ago where I sort of featured a quote from him, and I sort of looked more into him, and I was like, oh, I actually don't want to end up quoting him. Not without the proper context of saying, hey, this guy might be a bit of a problem. Hey, he might be a bit of a problem. It'll certainly be a very exciting time for everyone involved when they finally announce that they've confirmed a mummy to be Akhenaten or Nefertiti. I think that actually will be a really interesting time for everyone. So it looks like a lot more than 16 spears. They used to have little shields as well, but they seem to have gotten rid of those. They're coming in a month. Oh, I might be about to die. I don't think I've got enough of an army to turn them away. So because the armies don't actually appear on the map, I don't actually know what happens if you lose a battle. Why is that showing a picture of I have Oh no. That's so funny. Oh, they're showing up okay. Okay, they're sending 2 guys. They're sending 2 guys by land, but they're sending like a military fleet. So there's nothing I can do. Like I didn't build a military ship. Whoops. Okay. Well, Anyway, I've defeated the invaders. That doesn't seem likely. Okay, so do I now need to build a military? Oh, for goodness sake. I get... Let's build a... Fine. Now I'll need to No, I need to import wood. To make... I need to import wood to make sure that, you know, I can build ships. Import to maintain, I guess, 200. I mean, I don't want to build so much that I'm... Oh, and then I need to... Weapons actually isn't one. Okay, there we go, that'll do. Ramesses the Great had a lot of kids. In fairness to Ramesses the Great, he lived for a very long time. And he was a very busy man. And the strange thing is that I think it was a grandson who succeeded him. So there we go. He didn't outlive all of his kids, I don't think. It's just a lot of his kids were by what they would call, quote unquote, lesser wives, which is a very rude thing to call someone. Please send me wood. Thank you. I have warships I need to apparently stock up on. Oh, I don't have room for all the bricks? Is that because... I haven't finished all of them. 12,000. Well, I'll build another storage yard, I guess. I didn't realize my brick industry was so powerful. I guess considering how modern Egypt works, Zahi Hawass might be... Well, yeah, Zahi Hawass has a gift for at least knowing the right people to shall we say, make friends with. That's true. That is true. He's come and gone. Like he's not consistently had his job. He got kicked out after the 2011 stuff. But he got back in again. The traffic jam at the docks is intensely annoying. Yeah, I'm trying to thin it out. They don't seem to actually. Yeah. Yeah, the traffic jam isn't. Oh, what? I didn't know they could do that. I didn't know pavilions actually could burn down. Well, we'll do that. There we go. What happened in 2011? It was 2011, the Arab Spring, wasn't it? Was it 2010? It might have been 2010. Sorry, years mean very little to me, but you're right, it probably was 2010. I do apologise. And Zahi Hawass at the time, just before then, was the head of the... Oh, what do they call it? The Supreme Council of Antiquities. And then he got the sack. And then I think he got it or an equivalent job back because of his talent for sucking up. What's happening here? Why do I never remember to build, like, the proper health and safety features for my city? Do I hate my people? I really do like this remixed music, though. I'm very happy with that. Well, at least I've got an army. Actually, I don't need any more weapons, so that might not have been the worst thing to have happened. Okay, I don't seem to be able to get rid of that rubble for some reason. You'd think I'd never played this game before. I'm always forgetting. Oh, I see. There we go. Well, we'll train some archers. Shall I train more archers just for the fun of it? I do remember the day that it reached Egypt, the Arab Spring, was the day my mum got back from a holiday in Egypt with her sister. And I remember it came on the news and I went, "Mum, what did you do? What have you started as you left Egypt?" I don't think she was involved, but if she was, she'll never admit it. Okay, well, I think that's fine. I've got 4 warships. They have names. I have a question about... They're just called warship. Why aren't my ships named? I do like this art. Wow, my ship's named. That's pretty sad, to be honest. That's a really sad time for everyone. What's going wrong here? Is everyone just in the fields? I guess everyone's in the fields. There should still be enough workers for... I need 200 extra workers. Yeah, that's because I'm uselessly making linen. I'm just destroying my whole linen industry. I find it offensive. No, whoa, whoa, whoa. I thought I just accidentally deleted my entire docks. I do not require flax any longer. We've changed our minds about farming the stuff. Good day. I said good day, sir. All right, that's the end of that. That's put an end to that nonsense. Still need more workers, do I? Why am I still importing figs? Oh, I'm not. I get it. I'm not still importing figs. I just haven't used them yet. Wow. I still need another storage yard for bricks. Oh, can I put one there? I guess importing. I mustn't be importing them because hardly any workers. Oh, there are no workers at my bricklayers guild. Well, that explains that. Honestly, that's very silly. I have no idea who it was who took it over. Things were very strange in Egypt at the time, and I couldn't tell you. I'm not sure if Hawass actually got the job back, or if he just managed to get a slightly different one. But he haunts his old office now. I need to go to my. Yeah, the brickworks is one thing. Oh, monuments. Work camps come under monuments? No, okay. I guess we're gonna have to put this as a 3. Because I really do want my bricklayers guilds back up and running, please. Otherwise I can't lay any bricks, funnily enough, to be honest. I've stopped producing bricks. Probably because my brick workers don't have any. Why is that happening? No workers live nearby. That's a meaningless sentence. You don't send out recruiters anymore. There's no question of me needing workers. You think Hans from Frozen was inspired by I? Well, I mean, in that no one wanted him to be in charge, and yet there he was. I don't know why my brickworks aren't. I don't know why my brickworks aren't operating. Let's find. Oh, let's find out what that's about. And my brickworks are a production building. Oh, I see. Let's put it at priority level 2. Try and keep the flow of bricks up. Well, that's all the military I seem to need. Can I deactivate? But you'll get workers. You'll get workers later. You don't need them now. I do like that you can do more with the workers' priorities. I like that you can refine which industries get the priority within. I think that's quite good. It's a bit micromanaging, but honestly, if you're not into micromanagement, Pharaoh was never the game for you. Was it? That'd be fine. Well, I don't think I'm under much threat from invasion anymore. I might have wasted my time a little bit here, but at least I can be reasonably confident that... So the weird thing is the forts don't need employees. Ah, okay. There we go. Hooray, we did it. Look at that. We did it in just about 2 hours. 238 months. Yes, I know. I know. 20 years. Okay. I have known missions to go on for a good 100 years or more. So... Well, there we go. Yeah, my city does run a bit like clockwork, especially at the higher speeds. So I've got another choice of missions, which I will do next time. The road to Africa, is that a military mission? The Nubian border. So that sounds military. But then again, this one says lower population. Lower population implies military to me. I might go with Selima Oasis for my next mission. We'll see what the mission briefing is. I got invaded in this mission. You do get invaded earlier on at Timna, which is fairly easy to defend yourself. And I did actually get invaded in this mission, just about. It says I'd... Okay. Yep. Temple complexes and luxury goods. Oh, right. I remember Selima Oasis. I remember it very well. Okay, fine. Sorry about that. There's a little goblin here who has decided that now would be a great time for the loudest snack. Please continue, everyone, please. She's decided that now is the time for the loudest snack. You forgot I was streaming. I'm sitting here doing it. I'm sitting here talking to people, you miserable goblin.
You were talking to me.
Why would I be talking to you? She's so pleased with herself, honestly. I don't want a mini cheddar. No, look at this me. This is the thing I have to put up with while I'm trying to be a professional streamer. Well, I'm not. That would be a nightmare. I'm just trying to be a professional who also sometimes relaxes by streaming, and talking with his excellent audience. You are all excellent, and I really appreciate you showing up and giving me a couple of hours of your time this evening. I'm going to stop there, since the mission has ended, and Selima Oasis, as I recall, is quite complex. I don't know when I'll stream again, because I'm juggling quite a lot of things at the moment, so it'll be whenever I have a couple of hours to spare. But keep an eye on my YouTube community page. Subscribe if you're not already, so you'll see that. Join my Discord. The link to joining my Discord is in pretty much any one of my videos. In the description of any one of my videos. I also do notifications there. Not on Twitter anymore. But Discord and my YouTube community page are pretty reliable for that. Thank you for everyone for stopping by. And thank you for all the interesting, engaging questions. It's really nice to have folks to talk to when I'm doing this. I guess I'll say look out for a new video, possibly this weekend, maybe early next week, but keep an eye on that. But we'll see what happens. Oh, well, it's nice of you to call me your favourite Egyptologist. I'm not a real one, but it's nice to know that if I were one, I'd be your favourite. So I guess life, prosperity, and health to all of you. Hope you have a really good week. I don't know if you'll see me before my next video. Maybe you will see me streaming before then, maybe not, but either way, it won't be too long. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon, evening, day, whatever it is, wherever it is you are. Yeah, have a great one. Much love to you all.